are you starting to see any separation in the number 2 quarterback battle right now? Or
Michael's still a little bit ahead. You know, he hasn't played. Neither one of them played terrible. Neither one of them's played great. Michael's got such a big arm, though. And he has to nudge because of the fact that he was here in springtime when we put it in. You know, we've got both Turner and Michael have gotten better, and if I had to pick somebody, if we're going to play a game right now, Michael would still have the edge over Turner. But you know, Turner's gotten. It's a competition. It's not like just a lockdown deal.
What have you found?
We talked to Turner and Michael both about what the toughest part about picking this offense up is. And they both said the Mike ID. Can you explain that a little bit?
We had this conversation once before, didn't we? Didn't we all talk about this? But really, when you're playing in all these exotic defenses that everyone plays, to identify a front, it's simple. If you just pick one guy that you're considering the Mike linebacker, everyone now can play off of that in the run game and protection, and hots, and sight adjust, and everything else. So even if the quarterback is wrong in who he's picking, it tells everyone, okay, this is what we have to do. So the problem is you don't want to be wrong too often because you could put your teammates in a bad position if you're picking the wrong guy.
Is that why it's so difficult for them then? They're trying to, I mean...
You go watch any one of the two systems that's playing the same thing. You'll see it. You'll see Mike's 51. You know, like they all do this is part of playing quarterback. It's just part of playing quarterback. Because if you don't understand fronts, if all you understand is coverage, then you're not really a quarterback because you can't run the team.
That competition taking shape.
Well, we got Tony on the one hand, so can I put him aside right there? I'd say that it's a shame that James isn't able to play for the first 3 games because he's had a wonderful camp. So now I can put him to rest here for 3 games, and we can bring him back up. I think that in the competition with those other guys, the guy who has a slight edge, I would say, is Taylor Cox. He's had a terrific camp. You know, he's not exactly the same player that Brandon is. You know, Brandon's got more size and more girth. But you know, if we were going to put a guy in right now, you know, the next guy in, that would be by a slight edge, it would be Taylor over Brandon. But Brandon will definitely be in this mix, and then Marquise is sitting in that 4 hole after those guys.
Well, what does Pearson bring to the table?
Pardon me?
What do you think about Pearson and what he brings to the offense?
He brings a potential to score on every play. And you know, that's when you have a guy who can potentially score on every play, no matter who you're playing against, it's somebody they have to be concerned with. You know, and we don't have, you know, a laundry list of guys that could score on every play, but he's one of them. So therefore, you know, it makes things a lot easier on offense when you know they have to worry about him some. There's a lot of other things that, you know, that opens up.
I guess what has given Taylor that edge over Brandon so far?
Production. I mean, there's a production game. You know, you give them the same amount of carries. One guy rushes for 50 yards, the other guy rushes for 25 yards. With the same lineman, you have to equate that too, because sometimes when they're in there with the second line, it's not the same as when you're in there with the first line. So it's really a production game. The safest thing that you do when you evaluate players is to just go by what you see, not by reputation. And if you just grade by objectivity, I mean, he would have a slight edge right now.